गिरीश भारद्वाज जी।
Okay, thank you. Uh, Welcome to our presentation. I am Girish Bhadwaj. I am convener India branch of Tropical Agriculture Association International, and Dr. RPS Yadav. He is working as a deputy general manager in IFDC, that is Indian Farm Forestry Development Cooperative. This IFDC is basically a sister organization of IFCO, Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited. This is the largest farmer fertilizer cooperative in the world, in involved in production and marketing of fertilizer. As this is basically a fertilizer company, so the IFCO took decision to float an organization which works with the communities for environmental sustainability, which later on shifted to uh, took some other tasks related to socio-economic development of the uh, small and marginal farmers. So IFDC basically signed an agreement with the Department of International Development, DFID UK, and a project was launched in Rajasthan, a state of India, and the project continued from 1996 to 1999 to 2006. Dr. Yadav is going to focus on in this presentation on various learnings which we basically learned from the project in this project, and basic learning. Sorry, Dr. Yadav will focus on the learning from this project, which basically uh, is around 25 years old. This was one of the first projects in India which basically started working on community-based approaches for addressing the socio-economic issues of tribal community. So this project was financially supported by DFID UK, and then technical support was provided by WS Atkins International Consulting Firm, which was led by Keith Vargo, an associate of TAA International. Present focus of Dr. Yadav will remain on the current status of small and marginal farmers in India, and definition of project area and socio-economic status of the target community which was associated with project approach and strategy which was adopted during implementation of the project. Key intervention areas will be highlighted by Dr. Yadav, and then how things are still sustaining after the project has been withdrawn. So Dr. Yadav will make a detailed presentation on this. And the important thing is that Dr. Yadav has been involved in the project from the very beginning. I mean that is 1999. I was associated with this project as a consultant on behalf of W.S. Atkins. And the project basically named as Western India Rain-Fed Farming Project. Uh, uh, which was implemented in in Pratapgarh district of Rajasthan, and with the tribal community who are very are supposed to be very poor in this area. So I will request Dr. Yadav for initiating the project. Oh, sorry, presentation based on our slides.
Thank you so much. And first of all, I would like to thank TA to provide an opportunity to make a presentation. And we have very high regard to late Keith Virgo, who has supported us and who has helped us to develop this project and implement it for the small holders of India. So this will be my content of the presentation. I will make few points about the IFDC, then status, issue, challenges, learning, and Western India rainfed farming experiences. So this is about my organization which I am working. Basically, IFFCO is a multi-state cooperative society, is the world's largest cooperative in the sector of fertilizer marketing and producing. And IFDC is an outfit of this organization, and this organization was registered in 1993 to undertake socio-economic development programs for the small farmer and small and marginal farmers and the tribal community. And presently, we are working all the states of India, and so far we have covered 20,000 hectare wasteland in the community forest by promoting 165 primary cooperative societies, which are managed by the small and marginal farmers. And these women are the main owner of this program. So these are the objectives to develop the wasteland. Actually, since we are in the chemical fertilizer industry, so we thought if we tackle the wasteland, that will be the great help to the nation and environment also. So we have identified wasteland, and that wasteland developed in different contexts. And beside this wasteland, we have also worked for the integrated farming system development approach. We involve the local peoples and empowering women through cooperatives and different institutions. We also provide financial technical support to these cooperatives, which we have developed in different programs. This is about the small farmers in India, because today is the small farmers program. So there was a report in 2012 and 13, this India Rural Development Report. So in that report, the report says the small farmers are more efficient, especially in the cultivating labor-intensive crops or tending the livestock, but land holdings are too small to generate efficient household income. So these are the crux of these small holders in India. They are labor intensive, they have small holdings, they are very hard workers, but they are unable to generate their household income so they can meet out their expenses. So this is about the Indian agriculture. It is Indian agriculture is the home of small and marginal farmers. Around 80% farmers belongs to small and marginal farmers. This is sustainable agriculture growth and food security depends on the performance of the small and farmers. Because this whole agriculture is depend on the small farmers. If their performance is poor, certainly their whole agriculture system is going to collapse. In 2000 and 2001, there was a data out of 121 million agriculture holdings, there are 99 millions. They belong from the marginal farmers. Their land holding sizes decline from 2.3 hectare to 1.37 hectare. So now again this land is going to decrease in size. So small and marginal farmers accounts more than 80%, but their share in the operative area is around 44%. If we talk how much area they are operating is hardly less than 50%, but their numbers are more than 80. So these are the some issues which we will address in the next slides. So these are the small farmers holdings and area. If we see the land holdings and percentage of area, so if 24.303% plus 22.9%, so around 40%. 44% is belongs to the small and marginal farmers, but there again I told in previously more than 80% holdings are belongs to these small and marginal farmers. These are the some distribution of holdings. In 1960-61, if we talk, there was a 39.1% belongs to the marginal and 22.6% was for the small farmers. So it has been changed. If we talk in 2002 or 2003, so 39% has increased to 62.8%. Similarly, 22% to 17%, and there is a decline in semi and medium holders, 12 for 19% to 12%. So this holding is increasing. I am audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are good.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so then if we talk to the operational area, again the situation is different. This earlier in 1960-61, marginal farmers was 6.9. Now it's increased 22.6%. So land holdings are decreasing, numbers are increasing. So this is the big challenge to the small farmers. So now if we talk in the farm income per hectare, this again it is reduced. In earlier it was 7,809 rupees per hectare. Now it's a decline in 2,000 rupees, 2,005 rupees per hectare in 2003. So again the income coming from the per hectare is also reducing. So looking to the all, so these are the issues and challenges as we investors in the India. These are one is this fragmented and small land holding, because farmers their land is fragmented and there is very small holdings. Landowners belongs to the resource poor social groups. That's a very important issue, because so most of the land is belong to some different social groups. Those are the poor. They come from the poor section of the society. Low level of information, education skills. These small farmers are not access to the skill educational skills programs. Lack access to the formal credit system again is an issue. If we are working for the production, if farmer need the finance, so they are not access to the formal system. Indefinite due to because they are already taking loan from the money lender and they are paying very high rate of interest, so they are unable to take credit from the formal system, again paying more rate of interest. And migration is another issue, which is because they do not find to meet out their expenses, so they try to migrate from their home to other places where they got some kind of job there. So migration is an issue. Some of them is left out from the global technologies and markets, because the small farmers they are not up to date what is the global requirement and what are the global markets requirements. So they are left out. Lack of awareness and accessibility of the government programs and schemes to get the benefits, because there are a lot of programs from the government, but these small farmers is accessibility is very poor. Again, this climate change mostly affect the resource poor, because the resource poor farmers they are not having any kind of support system which meet out the climate changes. So they are the most vulnerable group by effect of this climate change. Again, issues and challenges. This crop productivity highly depend on the monsoon. The small farmers, they don't have the irrigation water. They depend on the monsoons. If the monsoons is good, then they are able to harvest the good crop. But most of the crop is depend on the monsoons. Reduction in yield and impact of the climate is because farmer has sown their seed to the field, but there is no proper rains, so yield is reduced. Highly risk prone to the natural disasters, lack of irrigation facilities, lack acceptance for the farm diversification. There are another issue because most of the big farmers, they are diversifying their farm, but the small farmers, they are unable to diversify because they are not able to take the risk to diversify for accept the diversifications. Absence of appropriate pricing mechanism and adequate minimum support price, because India has a minimum support price to the farmers, but they are far away from the smallholders because the smallholders are not able to produce such a quantity of food grains or their crop production, so they can sell in the MSP. So they are left out to use this minimum support price. Absence of robust procurement system, including marketing. Again, they are not linked with the procurement model. Again, because they are having less quantity, they are not accessible to the markets. So these are some challenges and issues of the small farmers. Now, looking to these challenges and issues, they have also some opportunities to take the advantage. So if we talk first, we talk the technological innovations. The field India has a lot of technological innovations has made. So first is zero tillage. So farmers, because the small farmers, they are not able to invest more money in the field preparation. So zero tillage is a technology which can help the small farmers. Again, second one is public sector led improvement technologies. There are the lot of technologies improved by the public sector. They are available, but there is a need to link these small farmers with these technology suppliers. Nutrient management, biotechnology. There are the lot of nutrient management technology has been developed. Similarly, the biotechnology and information technology, these are the opportunities which farmer can avail the facilities and improve their life, their productivity. So another area, this is institutional innovations. Lot of institutional innovation has been made in India, like self-help groups. So mainly self-help groups are made for the small and marginal farmers. But these small self-help groups are made for firstly for the providing credit to the women. But once the women has take the membership of self-help groups, whole family is covered. So self-help group are the small institutions, which informal institutions. Similarly, there is a huge program. The government has started farmers producer organizations. Again, this farmer producer organizations are mainly for the small and marginal farmers. Different area, different kind of institutions has developed this water user associations. There are a lot of water harvesting structures created in different government schemes and programs. So how to utilize that water? The water user associations have been made, so farmer can connect with these water users association and get the benefit. Similarly, women collectives have also developed groups are cooperative approach for input and marketing, because the farmers are not getting quality and timely inputs for their agriculture. So there are group and cooperative approaches working there. So there is a need to connect these farmers with these institutions. Further, value chain and supermarkets are available. Joint forest management is a concept which is very very near to the small farmers, those who are living near the forest area. So by this kind of institutions, farmers can be connected and they can have access, or if they connected, they can get the facilities and improve their lifestyle or their agriculture produce. Then if we talk the learning from the past initiatives, if we saw the green revolution and small farmers in India, then we find there are a lot of innovations has been made. Then small farmers like hybrid high yielding varieties has helped to increase the farm production. Similarly, the farmers are also small farmer holders are also helped to got the benefit. Food grain management, dairy cooperatives. In India, dairy cooperatives are the example where the small farmers, small holders have been connected and they are getting very good connect and price from their dairy sector. Similarly, water management in Gujarat, they have the examples how they have utilized the water resources for their agriculture purpose. I have also made earlier self-help group approach, institutional rights-based approach is another approach which is need to be addressed since this lot of farmers, small farmers, they are belongs to tribal area. So they are, what are their rights? So if we talk them a right-based approach, again they can help, they can take the help and they can improve their lifestyle. Similarly, learning from the others, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other neighboring countries, they have made some lot of innovations and policies for these small farmers. So we can learn from them and implement in for their upliftment. Now, this I'm sharing the 25 years experience what we have learned from the implementing this project, West India Rainfed Farming Project from 1999 to 2006. And there we addressed the 1,50,000 poor families' livelihood by this project. And this was the area, there was the Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, their predominant area and drought prone area. And area comprised hilly and unlulated and widespread of soil erosions, remotely placed with the poor communication links and lacked basic amenities, low and erratic rainfall. Mostly the small farmers are living in that area. So these are the profile of that area which we have selected to implement this project. And this is about the farming system. The handholding was around 1 hectare. And drought remain as a recurrent phenomena and increased availability of water for irrigation. Agriculture was constant by the lack of assured supply of inputs. There was no system to get the inputs for the agriculture purpose. No suitable cropping systems was there. Negligible area under the water irrigation. Most of the area supported only single crop because they grow crop during rainy season only because they don't have any water for the rabi season. So only one crop is there. Livestock is also important, but their growth and their productivity was very poor. If we talk the community, sorry, drought is the main area was there. Every 3 years, area receive the droughts, so they forcibly migrate to take the find out the job in nearby area where they have engaged in the construction work and other things. So this is the community community migrate. Most of the communities, Bhil and Meena, most of the 80% families, their source of agriculture and wage laboring were the principal source of livelihood. The source of other livelihood had not diversified significantly. The workforce was predominantly unskilled and there was a dearth of income generation activity to support the farmers in time of needs. Literacy level were very poor because the people migrate, so they do not they are unable to access the this literacy programs, and predominantly out of migration that area. So looking to the all these status or challenges or conditions, so we have planned these are the approaches in our project. So first is institutional development, second is farming system focused on the livestock and forestry, and water harvesting, skill development, and women empowerment. These are the area we have implemented in this under this project. So if we took the institutional development, and more than 900 SHGs have been formed, and around 12,000 families have been benefited having this kind of SHG membership. Similarly, 38 water users committees have been formed, and these water users committees are managing these water resources. 6 village forest committees was formed, which has been protected nearby the forest, and primary livelihood development cooperative society, which was the innovative kind of institution which we have formed. So in this kind of cooperatives, self-help group took the membership, and as a individual members also took the membership. So these primary livelihood cooperative society has helped the farmers in 4 ways. One, they are providing credit, providing market, supply inputs, and advocacy. So primary livelihood development was a key institution which we have developed to address the livelihood of these peoples. Similarly, because they are migrating, so we have formed the Mazdoor because Samu means the migrant people's SHGs. So if they are migrating from one place to another place, so they are facing a lot of challenges. So these groups have helped them to find out the work and to address their issues. Similarly, the second is we developed the Jankar system. We believe a lot of villagers have knowledge, so we have to identify these peoples who have the different knowledge in different areas. So these are the areas which we found some of the peoples, they are staying in the village, but they can be used as a para professionals. So if we talk about the groups, so 296 Jankars were developed. So in totality, around 900 to 25 persons have been identified in different area. Their skill was improved, and they are giving services to that area. Suppose like this forestry programs. So they have been trained how to manage the forest, how to community forest management, how they can identify, how they can increase the fodder. So all kind of things where they were trained, and they are helping the farmers or nearby villages who are staying in the forest area. So in different area, Jankars were trained, and the Jankars have supported nearby farmers in great way. If we talk in the social and gender, then we have addressed the women issues, and in each and every programs, women was the focus point. So every point of program we have provided women friendly or women centered approach. So in all aspect like capacity building, income, equal wages, opportunity for equal work, everything was provided to the women through this program. These are the some programs which we have implemented to reduce the drudgery, because women has dual roles. They are work work on site. If again they back to home, they are on the job or for the work. So we have done a small things like a smokeless chula, water storage tank for the for water. These are the small things we have provided for the women. So these are the impact of social and gender activities on their life. So, so one of the Jankar, they are identified in the health. So health Jankar, they are very familiar to identify the patients, and their role is to bring them to the hospital and inform to the hospital to get these benefits. Similarly, the Jankar, those who are trained in the livestock vaccinations, particularly women, they are earning their source of livelihood and also helping families to for the vaccination of their animals. Next, we have identified the water is the main resource factor. So this kind of water harvesting structure 93, a lot of water harvesting systems were constructed, and important is this water users committee, they are managing water for their irrigation, and there is no conflict, and they kept some water for their animals also. Again, because this area have the water erosion and soil conservation activities. So we have identified and treated this much of area. So that is protecting soil and increasing soil and moisture conservation in that area. This is the impact of soil and water conservation activities, because 7 to 27% area increase under the irrigation, because we have harvested the water, and that water they have used for life-saving irrigations. Increase crop productivity 40 to 60%. So these are the some area which the WRD, Water Resource Development, has left the impact. Now farming system, under the crop we have tried new cultivars, new crops, and improvement agronomic practices. If we talk the new crops, so maize, sesame, black gram, wheat, gram, lentil, these are the crops. Under this crop, we have identified the different good quality of varieties like Mahi Kanchan. These are the some varieties which has performed better in the stress conditions in that area. So that was identified through different participatory method, and the seed of these varieties was provided and developed in their as a seed bank in their villages. And if we talk the agronomic practices, and we focus, because farmers are small and marginal, they are unable to, if we say you use high quality of inputs, so they are unable to invest a lot of money. But if we took the different small things, like a pre-sowing, sowing and post-sowing and composting, these are the pre-sowing. We we train them, if they are sowing the maize or gram, they can go for the priming, seed priming. So line sowing and detasseling, these kind of activities we have demonstrated, and farmers got the benefit without investing any additional cost in the farming. And for the forestry, we understand that drought has less impact on the forestry fruit plants, but is a great impact on the crops. So we have incorporated agroforestry model along with the crops. So lot of plantations and have been made. Besides this, individual farmers, the nearby the farmers have been protected. This forests have been protected by joint forest management committees. So these are the initiatives which we have took for the forestry. And for the livestock, breed improvement, nutrition and fodder management, deworming and vaccination. These are the three areas which we have, particularly for the goats, breed improvement for goats and poultry, and nutrition and fodder management for the cattle, and deworming for all, all. 。 . 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . 。 . 。 . . . . 。 . . . . . . 。 . . . So another area which, because the area is highly migrant migrant labor from this area, so we found if they are migrating from one place to another place, so we have started this migrant support labor support program. So what we did there, if they are migrating from their village to another area, so they will inform to their panchayat, and panchayat will take care who is migrating from their area. So they have the all information because they have migrated in the far city area. If they got the accident and some casualties, so they are not traceable. So we have done this kind of program to get the migrant support programs. Even we have talked to the inter-state government state programs. If they are migrating, so they are getting access to the food, and they are also accessing the health facilities. If they are migrating from Rajasthan to Gujarat, so they are able to access the health facilities of Gujarat and PDS system from the Gujarat. So they are the inter-state agreement was made to help the migrant families. A last approach, because we have done all these things in the core villages and how to disseminate in the larger communities, then we have this dissemination approach. So we have Jankar because they are traveling from one to another place. So they have been selected and they have been sent to the different area and took the demonstrations, bring the people from nearby area to the core villages area, and they showed the impact. So by this way, we have disseminated these project learnings to the nearby villages. And lastly, if we talk about the sustainability of this program, so in 25 villages, more than 16 primary livelihood cooperative societies are functioning and addressing credit, market, agri-input supply, and information dissemination. So these are the four requirements for the community. So this, as an institution, as a cooperative institute, they are helping to the community. So more than 100 SHGs are functioning with the more than 2 crore savings. So these small savings now has a big funds. So now these SHG members are taking small loans from their SHGs and starting a small business, rearing their animals, purchasing their agri inputs for their betterment for their crops. 30 water harvesting structures are managed by water use committee. So during this project, we have created big structures. These structures are supplying water for the this irrigation purpose. So these are the major. And after 20 years, yesterday I was in the field and I saw the community was closing their gates, and this water was used for the pre-irrigation of Rabi season. So every farmer, because during the rains they get out the gates, and after the rain over, they close the gates. During time, they offer the water to their god, and they say this is our water which is going to produce more and more production for their from their field. And for para-professionals, still these para-professionals are working in these villages, helping the community in different area. And increase access to the information technologies, common, proper, and natural resources. Increase productivity through proper SWC and water resource management. Domestic water access. Earlier, the women has to travel 2 kilometers to fetch the water. Now, this domestic water is available nearby their house. Reduce women drudgery, skill augmentation through training, exposure, and entrepreneurship development programs. Now, nearby the forest has a good rich forest. Now they are managing forest. They are getting fuel wood. They are getting grasses, and they are getting lot of things from the resources in the proper manner. Wage labor support program help the migrants, if they are migrating from one place to another place. ensure marketing of agri product and input supply through cooperative systems. So these are some sustainability issues which we have looking after 15 years of withdrawing of that area. So in that way, we can say this kind of approach we have adopt, we can address the real issues of the small and marginal farmers. So this is all about from the presentation. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, you are welcome. And I would like Girish to add if anything left out.
Thank you, Dr. Yadav. I think this, because I was also involved in the project for some time. So one of the most appreciable factor was the involvement of para-professionals. Para-professionals basically, they are the extension volunteers initially, which were identified from different villages and equipped with specific capacities and capabilities to function and to provide services to the local people in absence of the qualified and project qualified professionals and project staff. Initially, this was a difficult task for the project, but once the project got into this and the para professionals started taking up the responsibility, then it became more kind of a movement in the project area, because working with the huge population in the area, particularly when they are mostly illiterate or very little education, these extension volunteers or the para-professionals played a very, very important role in spreading the concept of development, participatory approaches, institutional development, and other issues. So this was really, and importantly, IFDC basically encouraged them to formalize them as an institutions, and now they are working even after the withdrawal of the project for 15 years. So that's a very big achievement of the project. Any question from?
Can you just stop sharing your screen at the moment, and then we?
Okay. Yes.
That's great. Okay. Any questions from the audience? There's a microphone on the table.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Dr. Yadav, and thank you, Girish, for your introduction. It's good to meet you, having exchanged emails after the sad death of Keith Berger, who you referred to, involved with you in the planning stages of what you shared.
John, just say you are.
John Wimberley, member of the TAA here in the Southwest. It's very good to hear all the positive approaches you've taken towards sustainable development. We hear a lot and read a lot in the literature about the stresses that you alluded to that are getting worse for some of the most marginal farmers in terms of drought and the size of their land areas, and the very high suicide rates amongst farmers. I wanted to ask you, what is being done by the communities to either prevent or address the issue of farmer stress and farmer suicide?
Yeah. So can I answer? Girish sir, would you like to reply or should I?
I didn't understand the question fully because the voice this side is not very clear.
There was some issue. I got some sense. I think this question is what community has made to address some issues. Something like this, because voice was not clearly. Can you again explain?
I can paraphrase for you.
Richard, can you explain in brief what is the question?
The question was that we recognise very much the high suicide rate in farmers in India. We're very much aware of that. I guess I'd like to slightly modify John's question. Are you seeing an improvement in that, a reduction in suicide within the projects that you're doing? And what strategies are you employing to try and address the issue of suicide?
Oh, so farmer society or because see the area which we have work that was suicide case was not there. The mostly suicidal case are in Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra. Migration was the major issue in that area. Suicidal cases were not there, but this VT cotton and high agriculture input cost is encouraged to this suicidal cases. But nowadays, this FPO, farmer producer organizations, are helping farmers to get the proper market and good quality of agri inputs and reduction the cost of agriculture. I think this kind of initiatives help the farmers for this suicidal reduction. This is our observations in different part of the country.
And also this suicidal issue was more dominant in part of Maharashtra, Nagpur region, and also in some Andhra Pradesh belt. And you see this this project we presented is in a tribal area, so that kind of scene is not there. Whereas these belts where suicidal issues were there, they were better of farmers, richer farmers who basically got loan for crop production and then crop failure and couldn't return back, and this kind of issue was there. But as we mentioned earlier, our target community was very little dependent on formal credit systems. And their credit needs were not so much. So that's why the issue was not very common.
Okay. Are there any questions from anyone who is online? Anyone like to raise a question? Paul.
Thank you, Richard. I'm Paul Harding. I'm the chairman of TAA International at the moment. I'd just like to thank Dr. Yadav and Girish for their excellent presentation. It's good to meet you both, particularly Girish. We've been communicating recently about the India branch because we see the India branch as perhaps one of the most important branches with TAA International moving forward. I'd like to ask lots of questions, but I found your presentation so interesting. But I'll just restrict myself to two, if I may. The first question is, one of the best things about your presentation was the fact that after the project finished, the farmers continued to press ahead with the improvements in the methods and the institutions and so on that you created. This is, rather unusual. Too many projects are very, very successful during the term of the project, but as soon as the project funding stops, things begin to fall apart. So you've been very successful in installing sustainability into this project. I wonder if you could just give us the key one or two reasons why that was the case. And then the second question is about zero tillage. I heard that you mentioned zero tillage. And I'd be interested to hear your experience of zero tillage being adopted in the drier areas.
Okay, so two questions, gentlemen. I don't know who wants to respond to them.
I would like
the first question, Yadav, I would like to explain to you. As Paul says, I mean, this is a normal trend that after the funding stops or the project withdraws, things start collapsing. There are some of the issues are basically concerned with the bilateral project or the government project. But in some cases, IFFDV has been fortunate to achieve this target, achieve this sustainability. That one is, if IFDC partly has been withdrawn from the project, but it still remains in the area, still remains in at the periphery of the area or in the state. That is one thing. Another thing is the focus from in the project was laid from the very beginning on community empowerment and institution building. Because IFDC has a very vast experience in cooperative movement in India, so they basically focused on is capacitating these rural people, organizing them and institutionalizing them, and took them up to the cooperative level. So these two issues have been very crucial from, as I understand, from the project point of view. Dr. Yadav can add to this, or basically. So institutional development, sustainability leads to all kinds of sustainability, which the project initiated.
When we were implementing this project, and that time we identified the 4 key points. So one was the credit, second was the market, and third was the input supply, and fourth was the information share and knowledge. So having this kind of institutions, we address the 4 issues, and these 4 issues: credit, market, agri input supply, and the knowledge sharing. And these institutions, the cooperative society which we have formed, and we that the one key success is what you are addressing. If we are addressing the proper need of the farmers, then they will come to the society. Second was the stage. Then first we formed the self-help groups, then concept of the working together. After 3 years onwards, we clubbed as a federation of these SHGs. So there is a uniqueness in primary cooperatives. Government of India cooperative department is allowed only the individual members. But in this kind of first kind of institution which we have developed, so SHG was also the institutional membership, including this individual members. So the dynamic membership was the key success of this area, this institutional success. Another success is fund, because you have developed so many institutions collapse without sustainable funds. So when we left out these villages, these cooperatives, societies were having sufficient funds. And another success, these societies were managed by their local peoples, and the secretary or chief functionary of the society was identified within that area, and the capacity was will. And for some years we have handled support to this kind of societies, and last we brought them in the membership fold. So now these cooperative societies are the member of IFDC as the national level. So this kind of institutional arrangement we have made to sustain these institutions. So this is the success of institutions. And second, your question was the zero tillage. Sir, कुछ कहेंगे गिरीश भारद्वाज sir? Zero tillage.
Zero tillage, I think practically I have not really seen in the project, but you can mention.
I would share some issues about the zero tillage area where we have worked. So zero tillage, they applied like they are cultivating maize and this soybean and black gram during Rabi season. Oh, sorry, Kharif season. So what phenomena is here, that the late rains in the month of September, they got the rains, they harvested the crop, immediately they sow the seed of mustard and gram, not wheat. So gram and mustard they use under the zero tillage. They just broadcasted the seed because they are not able to get the irrigation water for the different crops. So after so the area wise is small, but they are using the zero tillage for the gram and mustard. Hope I address your issues.
That's great. Thank you very much. Again, can I add my thanks to you both for an excellent presentation, and sitting as part of the TAAI. Have you thought about maybe putting this into a paper, into Ag4 development, so we can share the information that way as well? Just a little question for you. But anyway, thank you very much.